In this video I recorded last Friday, I showcase Fishbowl, Sin 7, Deer, and Unleashed in response to Xero's intention to shut down Locate in 11 months. Subscribe below if you'd like to see more videos about inventory software that connects to QuickBooks. Alright, so what to do now? The Locate ship is sinking. What ships are coming to the rescue? I'm sure all of them are good options, but there are 4 that Annie mentioned on my phone call yesterday with her that they are looking to build data migration tools to. So let's pull up that email again. I know I've referenced this email quite a bit, but it deserves a lot of referencing. This paragraph right here is what I want to divert your attention to. Locate will be building specialized tools to help partners transition their customers to another top inventory system. And my question before was, what were the top inventory systems? And Annie's answer was Fishbowl, Sin 7, Deer, and Unleashed. So all of you know Fishbowl, I'm sure. Fishbowl's been around for a long time, probably the most popular solution out there. Let's actually take a look at popularity levels. So I'm Lance, inventory software expert since 2006, and in this video we're going to look at what Locate is recommending as a second option since Locate is shutting down October 10th, 2020. And the options are Unleash, Sin 7, Fishbowl, and Deer. That's what Locate is saying are the top ones that they want to build a tool to help migrate to their system. So I went and put these in Google Trends. That's what we're looking at right now is Google Trends. And I put in Unleash Software, Sin 7, Fishbowl, and Deer systems. This is a 12-month analysis report from Google Trends, and you see down here in the bottom left-hand corner, Fishbowl is the biggest one, and this is surprising me. Sin 7 is really growing, guys. They were not this high just last year. They've really put a huge push towards growth and selling their software. Sin 7 is New Zealand based and just a little over a year ago set up shop in Colorado. Unleashed, you'll see it is the least popularity, but it's really interesting that Locate picked them. So we're going to take a look at why Locate may have said Unleashed is worth a look. Deer is growing in popularity. I've had my eye on Deer for about a year, and so I'm looking forward to showing you Deer in upcoming videos this next week. Deer is actually owned by Sin 7. Sin 7 purchased Deer just recently. So this doesn't tell us if this is the right software for you. This is just a good place to start, I think. And why does popularity matter? I'm kind of eating my words on this because when I was championing Locate this last year, I was saying, hey, I think Locate's going to be around for the long haul. They've got a good team. They have great developers. They have a great product. They've been around the block years before they developed Locate. They were previous Fishbowl partners. So I saw no reason why they wouldn't be around forever. Never did I see this Xero acquisition of Locate coming. Never did I see this in a million years. And that they would shut down their software. I'm still not understanding why they can't just copy and paste. And I understand the acquisition was an acquisition hire, and Xero wants the current team to focus on the new software, but why not? Anyways, I won't get into that on this video. That was on the last video. This video, let's just take a quick peek at Fishbowl, Sin 7, Deer, and Unleashed, and then in the next series next week we'll do a full demo of Fishbowl, a separate full demo of Sin 7, a separate full demo of Deer and a separate full demo of Unleashed. Yes, on my channel I already have a demo of Fishbowl, but it's kind of old. Fishbowl has done a lot of updating. Same thing with my Sin 7 demo. That's the thing about software. Keeping up to date on software is a constant challenge because software is always updating. They're always improving their software, and it's like a race out here amongst all these inventory software programs, racing to be the best, right? The latest and greatest, and jumping on board with the latest integration as well. So they all definitely deserve a new demo. So let's just take a quick peek in this video of Fishbowl, Sin 7, Deer, and Unleashed. So we'll start with the most popular one, Fishbowl. Let's hear it for Fishbowl. Let me log in here. And I keep my window of a camera window smaller because it's harder to see. And yes, you're not seeing the whole thing in this video, but that's just so what you do see you can actually focus on and see. So we've got Fishbowl here, and Fishbowl is really strong with manufacturing. It rivals Mises. It has a good strong purchasing tool that they've done a lot of improvements to and updates. Good strong connection to QuickBooks. Now, I think one reason a lot of people went to Locate is because Fishbowl is desktop, and I know that repels a lot of people. But Fishbowl has two options to help with that. One is called Fishbowl Anywhere, and the other one is their hosting service that they provide. But also, they recently came out with Fishbowl Online, which they're doing kind of a slow, careful release, which goes to show that they know what they're doing. They've been around the block. They know that just releasing a new thing and talking big about it is sometimes a recipe for disaster. It's best to let a few people get on it, fix whatever bugs they find, and not that they don't test their software. All of these inventory software programs test their software. It's just smart, in my opinion, to do slow releases instead of big, exciting announcements. Let's get it out there slowly, carefully, and make sure it's high quality. Bugs flying around here. Okay, so I digress. I don't know how I got down that rabbit hole. Oh, it was about online. So yes, Fishbowl is desktop, and they did just release Fishbowl Online a while ago. Doesn't have all the features. In other words, it doesn't have manufacturing. But I want to focus on Fishbowl Desktop because it has the most features. Sales, they've got sales on an app. They've got sales on the desktop here, and they even have counter sales for those who do a little bit of POS. Fishbowl by far is feature rich, probably the most feature rich of all of them. And it's hard to be as feature rich as Fishbowl because Fishbowl has been around since 2001, is it? Something like that. I worked for Fishbowl from 06 to 09-ish, and I think they've been around for like 5 years, so yeah, that's my best memory there. So they have definitely a large library of reports, and they're a warehouse management tool for sure. Strong picking, receiving, labeling, barcoding, all that jazz. Probably don't need to spend a whole lot about Fishbowl because I'm guessing my audience that's watching this knows already quite a bit about Fishbowl. So let me maybe touch on some things you might not know, and that is that Fishbowl does have a lot of integrations. They have built a lot of integrations. The reason I bring this up is because one of my colleagues in the accounting world was surprised to hear all the integrations Fishbowl had. So I thought, well, if they're surprised to hear that, maybe others will be surprised to hear that. So this is their plugin store: Amazon, 3D Cart, Avalara, BigCommerce, eBay, What else we got here? Yeah, Fishbowl Go is their mobile warehouse device. HubSpot, Magento, yeah, QuickBooks Online, Salesforce, Shopify, SPS EDI integration, TaxJar. So not just Avalara, but TaxJar as well. Also, they integrate with their own software called Fishbowl Time, and they have another one called Fishbowl Time and Labor. Helps with the manufacturing. Walmart, that's a big one. Everyone's jumping on board to integrate with. WooCommerce, Xero, yep, they integrate with Xero. Jerks. Not Fishbowl, Xero. Zoho, Zencar. So yeah, that's probably a good thing to take a look at. Lot of integrations. Sales order management, light POS, mid-weight manufacturing, strong, good warehouse management, lot of integrations and solutions to give you online access. So let's take a look at Sin 7 now, and let's start over here at pricing. And I'll just mention really quick that Fishbowl does not publish their pricing on their website. So in respect of that, I'm not going to talk about their pricing on this video. I do have their pricing. I do know their pricing. Let me know if you want to know their pricing. So Sin 7 posts their pricing right here on their website. They start at $2.99 a month. And their prices are not just user related, but also feature related, packaged features. Deer also posts their price online, and they have a similar pricing structure, similar pricing amounts. And Unleash posts their prices right here online as well, except they do it the opposite way. They start low on the right and go high to the left. So kind of similar pricing with Deer, Sin 7, and Unleashed. And that's one thing to bring up as well. Fishbowl desktop license, this is one thing some people prefer, is it's a one-time purchase. With Fishbowl, if you buy Fishbowl, you own the license, right? You own the software. It's not going anywhere. With these browser-based or online packages, it's a monthly subscription. So we're looking at Sin 7 here. Now we're logged into Sin 7. We just talked about prices. Sin 7 Deer and Unleashed are subscription-based, and Fishbowl is a one-time license, and then you have the option to do maintenance contracts for updates. All right, so let's look at Sin 7 now. Sin 7, they have a little area here called CRM. It's really just a name for customers and vendors. And so we've got product management, BOMs. So there's manufacturing. I would say Sin 7 does light manufacturing. Fishbowl is sort of midweight heavy manufacturing. Mysis is probably, I would say, heavy manufacturing. Sin 7 does have a purchasing tool. It's called Smart Buyer. And Sin 7 does do well with POS sales. So Fishbowl does have a checkout, like a counter sales, light POS. I would say Sin 7 does a little heavier on the POS. They actually have a feature that helps you close out a cash register. So they focus a little bit more on POS. See here, we've got a close register and special POS reports even in Sin 7. Let's talk about accounting a little bit. I would say Sin7 has a light connection to QuickBooks Desktop, a good connection to QuickBooks Online, and probably, I'm guessing on this, I'm not a Xero user, but Sin7, when they were first developed, they were developed using a connection to Xero. That was their first connection. And so I'm imagining that their best connection is with Xero. I didn't mention that with Fishbowl. Fishbowl has both a robust, good connection to QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online. Stock, I know Sin7 says WMS right here. However, I got a letter from Sin7 earlier today that they pulled their WMS. Meaning I don't think they took it from their current customer base. Heaven forbid, we're all raw on that right now. They stopped selling their WMS. I'm not sure the story behind that, but probably going back to having a big release instead of a slow, careful release. They came out with picking, packing, shipping, all of the warehouse management tools, and then shut it down. So if you need inventory tracking where you're touching it yourself, you've got employees in your own warehouse, you have your own warehouse, then probably want to hold off on Sin7, which brings me to the next thing. What is Sin7's greatest thing? When I go to a restaurant, especially a restaurant I've never been to before, they hand me this menu, right? And I'm like, freak, I don't want to read all this. I'm hungry. And I just ask the server, what are you guys known for? You know, what makes you guys great? I'll order that. Whatever is most popular, right? So the most popular feature, what makes Sin7 great, is I would see their number of integrations. When I first became acquainted with Sin7, they actually bragged about this themselves and said by far their integrations are their biggest bragging point. So let's go there. I'm going to click on the App Store, and you'll see the largest library of integrations you've ever seen with any inventory software program. It is crazy. So we come here, Sin7 apps. They even have a search field, so you can search out the integrations you're looking for. They've got integrations to their own added software, warehouse management, pick and pack, POS. This makes me wonder if, it's there because it's installed, probably back on. Maybe in the next demo, I've reached out and invited a Sin7 to join me on a demo next week, and they might add some clarity to that. So accounting integrations, I mentioned that. E-commerce integrations, this is probably where you're most interested to see. All the major players, of course, BigCommerce, Magento, Shopify, WooCommerce. Neato, that's not a major player in my world. It might be in your world. Forgive me if it is in yours. Marketplaces. Now you start to see all the integrations Sin7 has. If you are a new business owner that is not managing your own inventory and you're leveraging 3PLs, Sin7 has really built their software for you guys. After working with Fishbowl for years and years and years and wrapping that around my head, I was really surprised that there's a huge market. And forgive me, you're probably saying, yeah, Lance, we're standing right in front of you. Or a lot of you might be agreeing with me and saying, I guess there are a lot of people out there that just started their business and they don't really want to touch their inventory yet. So they're just leveraging third-party warehouses. And what Sin7 does is helps them, or helps you, if this is you I'm talking to, expand your sales and your sales market. So we've got marketplace integrations, tons of marketplace integrations. Etsy, right? Of course, Amazon and eBay, but Of course, Walmart, right? But then some others that are less popular to me, anyways, and in my world, I haven't seen them as much. Retailers, they have integrations with retailers. Now, when working with Locate and Fishbowl, oftentimes I would leverage SPS Commerce or an EDI integration that is connecting to these big retailers. And usually that's how it was done, is the retailer connected to the SPS hub, and then the SPS or True Commerce or forgive me if I forget the name, B2B Commerce, something like that. But if we take a look at all of these retailers that Sin7 integrates with directly, it's almost like Sin7 is their own EDI hub, honestly. And I've actually worked with them with a prospect who needed an integration, and they just jump all over it. I don't know if they still do that, but they did at that time, and they just said, oh, we don't have an integration? Well, we need to have all the integrations, I swear, is what their business model is. And you kind of see it here in their shop. We're under the retailers section, and these are all the retailers that they integrate with. I mean, the list just keeps going on and on and on, and in every country. And so I think last year the list was 450 long. I wouldn't be surprised if they're up to 500 or 550. I'm just guessing. But this is the big menu item for Sin7. If you were to ask them what is the best thing on the menu, they'd probably bring you here and say, look at everything we integrate with. Now, look at 3PL. I don't know who else integrates with 3PL. 3PL Central right there at the top. Once again, Sin7 is a really good fit for those who don't touch their own inventory and want to leverage third-party warehouses. 3PL software is a different type of software than just inventory software, right? Because their accounting is different. Their measurements or their KPI, the things they're interested in, are different. Yeah, their workflow may be similar. You receive, pick, pack, and ship and all that. But order management's different, right? Because 3PLs are managing someone else's inventory. So Sin7 integrates with all of these 3PL software. Crazy. Shipping software, sales, marketing, and payment providers. So tons and tons of integrations. And then just to make sure they got them all, they have this place over here called Other. Google Drive, interesting. I actually built an integration between Fishbowl and Google Sheets, and Inventory Planner and Streamline, GMDH Streamline. Those are good ones, and Stock Trim. Deer integrates with those as well. So let's go to Deer and take a look at Deer. I've heard good things about Deer from my other colleagues who have done implementations of Deer. We're going to start doing implementations of Deer this year. I've been wanting to do implementations of Deer for a while, and this year we're going to purchasing, advanced purchasing. Be interested to see. Next week we'll do a deeper dive of Deer. But they do have integrations with purchasing tools. So they've got the regular purchasing and advanced purchasing. And then if we come here, forecasting, it's not under forecasting, but over here you'll see that Deer also integrates with Inventory Planner and Stock Trim. I guess not GMDH yet, but they integrate with HubSpot, Avalara. So Deer has a lot of integrations as well. BigCommerce, there's Etsy again, and Zapier. Just in case your integration isn't there, you can leverage Zapier to build your own integration to just about anything. Shopify, Handshake, PayPal, etc., etc. So Deer has a good strong library of integrations. You'll see the library list over here, accounting, and so this is one thing to point out. This is probably one of the first considerations when looking at what software to get is what what accounting software do they connect with. Deer does not connect to QuickBooks Desktop, y'all. They do not. So if you're a QuickBooks Desktop user, so far out of the 3 software programs I've showed you, Fishbowl is the best fit for the QuickBooks Desktop integration. Now then with QuickBooks Online, if you're a QuickBooks Online user, I think Fishbowl, Sin7, and Deer are all pretty even in that area. Don't quote me on that. Next week we might find out differently. But if that's important to you, then definitely want to take a closer look at that specific area. And that's what you need to do, right? This is just a quick overview of the software. But definitely if there's a certain area that's more important to your company, then we definitely need to do a demo and focus in on that specific area. So Deer manages sales. They do order management and purchasing management. They do production. So we've got manufacturing here in Deer, assemblies and jobs, production orders, inventory. So Deer does have warehouse management. Deer has what looks to me as strong warehouse management, and the reason I say that is because they have a native app, a mobile app in the App Store that you can get, Deer WMS right here. And the reason I think that is important is because latency, which is the delay of inventory tracking, creates inventory inaccuracies. And what fixes latency or the delay of inventory record keeping is having a quick and easy to reach something to record what you did. If you received it, moved it, picked it, packed it, cycle counted it, whatever, instead of putting a piece of paper on someone's desk and then that's someone who walks to their desk every once in a while and records that, that's something you want to try to get away from if that's the rut you're in. And Deer has picking, mobile packing, mobile receiving. Stock take is another word for physical count or cycle count. It's kind of a New Zealand term. I didn't hear about stock take, and still I always called it cycle count for years and years until I was introduced to Sin7. Write off, work area, print. So we've got the mobile warehouse management, right? Warehouse management tool right there in the palm of your hand. And in all fairness, sorry to jump back and forth, I don't think I showed you the Fishbowl warehouse management tool. Fishbowl does have mobile pick, pack, ship, receive, move. I guess I just assumed that everyone knew that. They also have work order closing and sales order creation and delivery sign off. So Fishbowl's warehouse management tool is really robust. And also one more thing to mention is when we talk about the software that runs on our phones or smaller TC70 devices, this kind of device right here is, now we're talking about barcode tracking, barcode scanning, scanning labels and barcodes, which Fishbowl is strong in. And going back to Deer, you see right here on the picking screen in the Deer mobile device, it says enter order number or scan UPC code. So we see right there that Deer also has barcode scanning. So let's keep going with Deer. We've looked at warehouse management. stock adjustment, all the main features for warehouse management. And then here's something interesting in Deer is you can actually record payment of money, not just receiving of money. So that's pretty cool. And they even have a place to enter a journal entry. So a little more robust than you would expect in an inventory management software is to make some sort of journal entry, like the debit and the credit. So yeah, crazy. Bringing the inventory software to the next level there. Now, another thing that brings Deer to the next level is CRM features. So Deer is really strong with CRM. And not only do you see that they have their own CRM features, creating opportunities, tracking opportunities to close, managing conversions from leads to customers, but also if we go back to their integrations and click on CRM, we'll see that Deer integrates with 4 CRM players. That tells you something about the target market of this software and who it's geared or designed for, what industries, what type of industries it's geared and designed for. Not that it's not a vanilla software. It looks like there's enough features here to definitely classify this software as a vanilla software. But you notice all the integrations Sin 7 had with the big retailers. All the integrations that Deer has with the CRM. And if we're going into the restaurant and asking the server, hey, what are you popular for? What's the best thing on your menu? You know, it's kind of what we're looking for, what this is geared for. Now, I like to look at reports too, because we do custom report writing here at Brando Consulting. So I like to take a look at reporting features. The breadth and depth of reports is something we always want to look at. They've got purchasing reports, sales reports, inventory reports. Now this is just demo data, so we're not going to see a whole lot here. But that's a nice quick scan through of Deer's menu of features. So we've seen Fishbowl's menu of features, Sin 7's menu of features over here, and we've seen Deer's menu of features. Let's take a look at now Unleashed's menu of features. We've got purchasing, and in their integration, they integrate with strong purchasing software. GMDH Streamline, Inventory Planner, Stock Trim. So that's powerful when helping with purchasing. Fishbowl integrates with GMDH. You just didn't see it on their plugins list. And that brings something else up, is the API, right? If the software doesn't do what you need it to do, but it's so close, you just need to do one little thing or maybe integrate with that, then just because that inventory software doesn't advertise the integration in their own software doesn't mean the integration doesn't exist. Sometimes integration is advertised from the opposite direction. Like if you go to Avalara, you'll see that they advertise who they integrate with. So maybe the integration is built on the other platform instead of this platform, right? And maybe both of them are advertising each other, but it's good to have a software with a good API, a good open API that you can use in a pinch, right? We don't want to admit it, but after everything we've done to carefully select the software program, to carefully and methodically put together a good implementation project and implement the project. During the implementation project, we may see, oh my gosh, we really need ... whatever it was. And if the software has an API, and you've got someone backing you up with API integrations. We offer API integration services. We have a developer on hand. That's a good help in a pinch. Probably 1/10 or 1/5 to 1/10 of my projects need a little custom something, so that's good. Let's keep going. So purchasing, they've got purchasing, inventory. Now, it's funny that I'm even mentioning this, right? You're like, okay, yeah, Lance, they do purchasing. Yeah, they do sales. Yeah, they do inventory management. Well, they don't all do all these things. Like, for instance, Mysis doesn't do sales. It relies on QuickBooks to do sales. But it has really, really strong purchasing. And some people go to like Brightpearl or Sellbrite, these other software programs, or even Shopify. Shopify is growing right now, and a lot of people are moving from Shopify and adding QuickBooks, and moving from Shopify and adding Inventory Planner, because Shopify doesn't do some of these things, right? So yeah, it might seem silly to go through and check off the box, check, but got to do it, right? Make sure that it has all the features you need. Inventory transactions, warehouse transfers, stock counts, import stock revelations. So that's one thing I didn't mention is site tracking, multi-warehouse tracking. So check that box off. Fishbowl Sin 7 both have multi-site tracking, and I did see it on Deer as well. When I was logging into its mobile device, it wanted to know what building I was in. So Deer has multi-site warehouse management as well. And here we go, transfers from site to site. And Fishbowl has a good, strong transfer order feature, an auto replenish feature. If you have a hub and spoke system, Fishbowl is really strong with that, and supports a hub and spoke system where you to the hub and transfer to the spokes. Okay, so anyways, check. Warehouse transfers, stock counts. Yep, all four of these software programs have stock counts. Import stock revaluation. Cool. So when doing cycle count adjustments or full physical count adjustments, it's nice to see what's going to be adjusted before it's adjusted and kind of reevaluate that cycle count. So that's cool that's in there. That's a good feature, useful feature. Add products, view products, import, export. We've got some good importing and exporting. Change code. Here's our product lists. We'll look at these features in further depth next week. Markup price update. A lot of cool features they've thought through here. Assemblies, bill of material. Okay. Add assemble, disassemble. I don't see work orders. I just see assemblies and bills of material. May just be a terminology thing. Look more at Unleashed next week. Quotes. Nice. So quotes are on a separate screen. Orders. Credits. So credit memos, RMA type of thing. That's good. Customer screen. Importing and exporting. That makes me think of what QuickBooks do they integrate with? So we've got QuickBooks, and I don't see QuickBooks Desktop, so I'm kind of assuming it's only QuickBooks Online. They've got a Xero integration. Yeah, and when I say connect, when I go to the QuickBooks integration and click on integrate, it wants me to connect to. So no QuickBooks Desktop integration with Unleashed, just QuickBooks Online. Check that box or uncheck that box. Interesting. Business intelligence. I'm looking at this menu over here on the left-hand side. We'll scroll my focus down here. Business intelligence. They've got purchase or reports, and then business intelligence. I wonder if this is Power BI, another term for business for reports, in my opinion, but more graphical, better on the eye, quick, useful numbers to look at. KPI, key performance indicators. This is a big deal to a lot of people, is dashboards. Dashboards. Having a nice dashboard. Our inventory value dashboard. So we've got KPI, business intelligence type dashboards for purchasing, inventory, and production. One thing I'm not seeing is picking. I'm looking for picking. I'm not seeing picking screen. See, warehouse transfers. Okay, we've got view shipment, batch complete under the sales order section, under orders section. I'm not seeing a pick management screen. Sin 7, I think, does not have a pick management screen right now either. Fishbowl does, of course. If you're managing your own warehouse and you have a 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 square foot warehouse, then picking is a big deal, right? If you're managing your own inventory. And Deere had picking. It had picking in its mobile device. I'm not seeing picking in Unleashed. I might come back. I'll come back with a confirmation next week, but currently, oh, this is cool. They have a B2B portal. That's a big deal for some people. I've done some software research advisory services in the past, and having a B2B portal was like a deal breaker for some people. So yeah, check that box if having a B2B portal is important to you. But interesting, I'm not seeing pick management or picking screen. Be sure to, if you've liked what you've seen with Unleashed so far, be sure to see my demo of Unleashed next week. I've invited someone from Unleashed to be a guest on my YouTube channel and to really show us Unleashed. Okay, let's keep going. So supplier management, customer management, I kind of skip over these because this is just like basic stuff. Yeah, gotta have it. But I guess this brings up the point of foreign currency. I didn't touch on that. That's probably too much of a deep dive, but something we should touch on in the actual demo of each individual one next week. So I'll get on my soapbox here for a minute. It's very important to get the right inventory software for your company. I've been in the inventory software implementation world for about 15 years, since 2006. I've done a lot of inventory software implementations, and I call them re-implementations or implementation fixes, where someone ambitious has done their own implementation or has hired someone who's ambitious to do their implementation, but literally has no experience in implementing inventory software. And I've learned that yes, the implementation is absolutely important. And most of the time, in order to have success with your inventory software, you need a good implementation, well thought out processes and procedures, and good solid training, the correct setup. In order to have a successful experience with your inventory software, it's got to be set up right and used right. But rewind, it won't matter if it's set up and used right if it doesn't have the features you need. So be sure to choose the inventory software, or give us a call and hire us to help you find the right inventory software. We do offer what I call software research and advisory services to help you find the right inventory software. Currently, we've looked at 4 different ones, but I've got a list over here of about 16, And the inventory software that we focus on is distribution, warehouse management, and manufacturing that integrates with QuickBooks. So we don't really get into POS, we don't really get into rental, we don't really get into construction. We'll probably get into 3PL, but not yet. That's probably years down the road. So right now we don't really get into 3PL inventory software. We focus on inventory software that connects to QuickBooks. That's our niche. Inventory software that connects to QuickBooks. If you need help finding inventory software that connects to QuickBooks, that's distribution, wholesale, and or manufacturing with, I mean, if it's got light POS or light rental, then, you know, that works. Or light 3PL, then we can make it work. Reach out to us, and we offer inventory software research and advisory services here at Brando Consulting, and implementation services for a successful conversion. I've heard it also called digital transformation, a fancy term for inventory software implementation, or I think that term is more popular with ERP implementation, which I don't really get into enterprise resource planning implementation. And enterprise software, I know a lot of these software programs advertise themselves as inventory software, but true ERP is where it's an all-in-one software, does accounting and inventory and CRM and labor and overhead, and it's all in the same software package, or at least built by the same software company. So we work with IMS, Integrated Management Systems, specifically inventory software that connects to QuickBooks. If you're a QuickBooks user, you need inventory software, give us a call. Subscribe below to see the up and coming demos, or demos that I already have. We also have a library of tutorial videos. I try to make them more entertaining. If you subscribe, it's easier to find those. Comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Like if you saw this as helpful.